As a lover of history, as a lover of objects, this is a really, really rich museum with a fantastic collection, about 500,000 objects that we look after. So it's a wonderful place to work, a wonderful, subject matter to explore, and you always learn something new every day as well. The roundel symbol, which you see on station platforms, for example, and outside tube stations, is something like the fourth most recognised symbol in the world, and it really kind of shows what an iconic brand London Transport has become, and now Transport for London. And part of that is the design heritage that the public transport in London has always had, from the early 20th century right through to today. The use of interesting station architecture, the use of the Johnston font that's used still today on the station platforms and on a lot of the notices. Through to maquette seating, the seating fabric that you see on tube trains and buses, that you can see here actually, that's colourful but also hard wearing. And actually through to the kind of vehicle design as well. I mean, one of the most famous buses ever is the Route Master that you can see behind me, which was a kind of icon of 1960s London, and actually carried on in active service until about 2005. And they were beautiful vehicles, that iconic red colour. But they were also designed to be very practical. All the parts were interchangeable. They had more comfortable suspension than the previous buses. You could obviously hop on and off at the back on that kind of iconic rear staircase. So these are all kind of key components of what makes London Transport pretty special and so famous around the world. The Hidden London exhibition is really kind of tapping into the hidden history of what's underneath people's feet when they're around the city. So people, when they're travelling on the tube, they might not know that actually just down that corridor, behind that doorway, through that grille, is something that they can't see, that's doing something useful or doing something unexpected. Whether that be because it's actually a wholly disused station like Aldwych, for example, which has actually been used as a fantastic historic backdrop for numerous Hollywood productions right from the 1930s through to the present day, to being actually a corner of like Euston, for example. This area of the exhibition is a recreation of a disused corner of Euston Underground Station. I think one of the things that people really get out of a museum visit is getting up close, as we can see here, with the collections, with the content, being able to actually take in some of the atmosphere of the history that they're reading and learning about. That's particularly true of this Hidden London exhibition, which is specifically designed to be very atmospheric and conjure the atmosphere of some of these disused spaces. The Culture Recovery Fund has been a real sort of shot in the arm to the museum. We've suffered massively financially during closure and lockdown, up to about £7 million in income. So it's been a real sort of lifeline to making sure the museum can still exist, can still develop our programming, can deliver learning objectives to numerous young people and children. We're really grateful to Arts Council England, DCMS and the government for the funding that we've been given, and obviously all of our supporters and visitors as well that are hopefully going to be visiting us very, very soon. And yeah, we're really looking forward to welcoming visitors back in obviously a safe and controlled way.